Friends, today is traditionally known as the first Sunday after Easter. It is known as Low Sunday. Not because of anything to do with the readings or the order of service or anything like that, but preachers coined this Sunday as Low Sunday because of the attendance to the service on this Sunday. So for those of you who are here this morning, you can congratulate yourselves for making it to church on Low Sunday. In terms of the lectionary, friends, we have been building up through Lent to Easter. We've now celebrated Easter. But the lectionary gives us a couple of opportunities over the next few weeks just to double back and have a look at the resurrection of Jesus, but more importantly, those who encounter the risen Lord. For on Easter Sunday, we couldn't preach all that needed to be preaching, otherwise we'd probably still be sitting here from last week's Sunday. So we have this opportunity to look once again. This second Sunday of Easter, this Low Sunday, always has the same character in our reading. And as you would have guessed from our reading, that is Thomas. The reading focuses in on Thomas, and we know him as Doubting Thomas. It's an unfortunate name that has stuck around with our dear Thomas for over 2,000 years. And it's a tough one because this name and subsequently his reputation that comes with it is really unfair and really untrue in many senses. I mean, when we look at the other disciples, all other 10 of them at this point, why didn't they call Simon Peter the doubting one? For he seems to get it more wrong than right throughout the scriptures. But let us put our feet into Thomas's shoes this time on this Sunday. Thomas is a faithful disciple who, yes, like the others, deserts Jesus in his time of need, but never denies him, or at least the scriptures never talk about a denial of Christ from Thomas. Rumors about the resurrection of Jesus seem just like that. Rumors. I mean, Mary declares this on Easter Sunday, that Jesus is alive. But there's no real evidence that any of the disciples believe her, for they're still all locked up in the upper room, paralyzed by fear and possibly unbelief. And perhaps it was just a case of bad timing that Thomas is not with them when Jesus appears the first time. Perhaps he popped out to check on his elderly mother to see if she was okay. Or maybe he popped down to the shops to get some snacks and supplies, for the others were too afraid to even leave the room. Or maybe Thomas, being overwhelmed by all the events that have taken place, just needs a moment to breathe away from everyone else. Maybe he just needs to take a walk and to begin to process all that has happened. It wasn't really his fault that he wasn't there. But when he returns, the disciples are overjoyed with excitement. Story after story of the personal encounter that they've had with Jesus. Each talking about the words and actions and even the smells of Jesus and how he appeared amongst them. Thomas wanted that too. Thomas wanted an encounter of his own. It's like me watching the video about the vegetable peeler. Could it be true? Could it just be a lie? Except that it's not a vegetable peeler. For Thomas, it's everything. It's his life. It's his faith. It's his destiny. Thomas wants an encounter with the risen Lord. And if we're honest with ourselves, we would want the same. You know what I love about this passage? I love how Jesus honors that request, that he returns to the disciples, and that he has a special and somewhat intimate encounter with Thomas.